they should bathe in Ganga naked. They were naked, bathing in Ganga naked. And the girls were naked too. And of course, no one should bathe in Ganga in a drunken state. They did that also. And of course, visiting holy place is meant to respect saintly personalities. And when the topmost of the saintly personalities appeared in front of them, what to speak of, offering their pranams, what to speak of, even talking to Narad Muni. They completely ignored him. They didn't even bother to cover themselves, which is which is an offense. And so we may place a doubt, which is actually placed by Maharaj Parikshit later in the chapter, which is quite relevant. And it's actually interesting that Bhagavatam discusses everything very openly and honestly. Maharaj Parikshit is not hesitant to reveal his doubts to Shukadeva Goswami, and Shukadeva Goswami is not annoyed by the doubts of Maharaj Parikshit, but he patiently explains everything to him. So this is like a perfect model of relationship between Guru and disciple. And Maharaj Parikshit will ask this question later, that it appears like Narad Muni as normal man would do, who has certain degree of power, and wouldn't one who didn't receive proper respect, he would become angry and would, chastise or punish those who misbehave towards him. So it looks like Narad Muni is doing exactly the same thing, right? In this pastime, that Nalakovara and Manigriv misbehaved towards him, and so he is punishing them for that. But, he's supposed to be Mahabhagavata, eternally liberated soul, who doesn't have any false ego. Right? That normally is happening because of the false ego. And Shukadeva Goswami will explain, yes, it is true that Narad Muni haven't done that out of the false ego. And he did that as a mercy, to show mercy towards those people. Of course, then we may say, so many people misbehave towards us, let's also show them some mercy. Let's follow in Narad Muni's footsteps. That's fine, but if we want to do that, we have to do it exactly as Narad Muni did, because he took time, and actually quite a long time. If you look at the chapter, so many verses he spoke, actually explaining to them what's going on with them, preaching to them, and communicating properly to them what he's going to do and why he's going to do that. And when it is done, there is actually no resentment. And Srila Prabhupada was referring to his father, Gaur Mohan, who, as we know, was also an exalted Vaishnava. Normally apples come from an apple tree, so such an exalted Vaishnava as Srila Prabhupada is naturally coming from another exalted Vaishnava. It was his father. And Srila Prabhupada refers to how his father was correcting him when he was misbehaving. He says that his father was very lenient towards him. His mother was quite strict, but father was lenient. But sometimes, and as we know, Srila Prabhupada, in his childhood, he was very, very naughty. And he actually refers to it. He says that normally, if a boy is very naughty in his childhood, that means he is very intelligent. That means he is a future leader. Doesn't want to listen to nobody, knows himself what to do. So for a boy, it's actually a good sign, but not for a girl. So anyway, but Srila Prabhupada says that in certain cases, when he was very naughty, his father had to step in and correct him. But the way he did that, left very deep impression on Prabhupada's consciousness, and then he refers to that. He says that my father would sit together with me and he would tell me, please understand that I'm your father, and I have to play this role, even though, we're spirit souls, but, it's my duty, I'm your father, and you're misbehaving, and because of that misbehavior, that misbehavior doesn't lead to a good result. Results will be very bad. So just to stop you from going in the wrong direction, to stop you from getting these bad results, I have to, rectify you by punishing you. So please understand that I'm just doing my duty. And then he would administer, correction to Srila Prabhupada, but, naturally, in these circumstances, it's not possible to feel any grudge or resentment like that. So, it is same like, the punishment or correction. It can help one to elevate one's consciousness, or it can lead to, negative attitudes, which results in degradation. So that's why this punishment or correction should be utilized in the right way. In the same way as a knife can be utilized for one's benefit, by the surgeon can relieve one from disease and trouble by making surgical operation using knife, and robber can use knife to harm the person. So, and same cuts, but people feel very bad towards the criminal who did that to them, and they feel very grateful to the surgeon who cut them. So, because surgeon actually does it for the benefit, whereas the criminal does that for his own selfish motives. So we can understand very important point that it's actually not an activity, but attitude and mentality which is behind it. Consciousness, that is important, and that of course brings the place of Krishna consciousness into the picture. Why we're working on developing our consciousness to the degree that we become Krishna conscious, passing through the mode of goodness on the way, of course, because this is the only mode which is matching with Krishna consciousness. Modes of passion and ignorance, they don't. So that's why Srila Prabhupada was stressing. Lord himself is stressing that in Srimad Bhagavatam, also in many places. The importance of development of mode of goodness as a preliminary step of development of Krishna consciousness. And mode of goodness is, of course, synonymous to varnashram, dharma. When society is guided by the mode of goodness and by those who personify the mode of goodness, meaning by brahmanas, qualified brahmanas, not just by those who are wearing threads. One devotee was joking that you can put thread even on a dog It doesn't mean that